Ryanair cabin group of workers strike cancels dozens of flights in Europe. Lisbon, Brussels. Some cabin crew at Ryanair went on strike in Belgium, Spain and Portugal on Friday in a dispute over pay and operating situations, the modern day in a wave of walkouts staged via people across one-of-a-kind sectors in Europe. Surging inflation throughout the continent has led to tens of millions of workers struggling with rising charges of residing, prompting alternate unions to demand better wage will increase, regularly backed through strike calls. Airlines and airport operators have additionally struggled with personnel shortages to address the glide of passengers as demand for journey bounces returned with the cease of most COVID-19 restrictions. Workers at several other airlines, consisting of British Airways, are also making planned strikes this summer season. Ryanair cabin crew unions in Belgium, Spain and Portugal known as a 3-day strike beginning on Friday. Staff in France and Italy had been expected to stroll out over the weekend. Crews in Spain are set to strike again on June 30 and July 12. Workers say the Irish airline does not recognize neighborhood labor legal guidelines overlaying troubles together with the minimum salary and urge Ryanair's bosses to enhance running situations. Conditions are horrible, stated Ricardo Penarroyas, president of SNPVAC, the union at the back of Portugal's walkout. A team member isn't always even allowed to take a bottle of water on a flight. Ryanair did not right now respond to a request for comment on Friday, but instructed Ultimate Week it had negotiated labor agreements masking 90% of its group of workers throughout Europe and that it did not assume substantial disruption this summer season. WAGEPRICE spiral. Much of the labor unrest has centered at the delivery zone as it deals with a return to travel after pandemic lockdowns. French unions issued a joint name on Friday for a countrywide railway worker strike on July 6 and a walkout has also crippled Britain's rail network this week. There are signs and symptoms of the unrest spreading to different sectors. French Change Union CGT is organizing a one-day strike on Friday to trying to find higher wages for oil refinery workers after talks with operator Total Energies broke down. With inflation jogging at more than 8% in the euro location, a 40-year high of 9.1% in Britain, and in double digits across some primary and JAP European economies, government are worried of a wage-price spiral developing wherein higher wage needs upload to inflationary pressures. European Central Bank Chief Christine Lagarde has warned that the longer inflation stays high, the more likely it will influence wage negotiations. Pilot and cabin team unions of Brussels Airlines, the Belgian subsidiary of Lufthansa, additionally commenced a strike on Thursday. Over the 3 days, Brussels Airlines expects to cancel about 60% of its 533 flights. Belgium is probable to be the hardest hit via the Ryanair strike, with local media saying 127 flights at Charleroi Airport might be cancelled, affecting 21,000 passengers. 10 additional Ryanair flights consistent with day are set to be cancelled at Brussels Airport. Outside Charleroi, placing employees wore T-shirts with the message, "Ryanair ought to change," on the front and "Respect" at the back in yellow on blue, mirroring Ryanair's colors. In Lisbon, 2 flights have been cancelled on Friday thus far, both to Brussels. A total of 18 Ryanair flights among Brussels and Spanish towns have been cancelled on Friday and Saturday, Spain's cabin body of workers union, USO-NYSE, USO, mentioned. In Spain, the authorities forced the agency to perform 73% of flights over the strike duration to preserve minimal offerings, obliging Maximum to go to paintings. Ernesto Iglesias, from USO, said the authorities' decision limited employees' right to strike. Commenting at the situation in Spain, Ryanair's CEO Eddie Wilson said workers there demanded a 165% salary growth. The SNPVAC union mentioned not many flights might be cancelled from Portuguese airports due to the fact the airline placed strikers on standby and requested cabin team in other nations to replace them. Ryanair has said SNPVAC solely represented 3% of its personnel in Portugal. Outside Lisbon Airport, American Michael Rossides, 59, mentioned he booked an EasyJet flight due to the fact he thought Ryanair could cancel but that ended up now not taking place. We have wasted a fair quantity of time, a further couple of hours, and a few hundred greenbacks, he mentioned.